Well, got out of a fall camp in a really good position. So got a lot of work to do and improvement to do, but we're light years ahead of where we were when we ended the spring, and just how these guys were prepared for fall camp. Our ability to practice at a high energy and high intensity level for the duration of fall camp. Really pleased with that, and a lot of the credit sometimes is given to people that really matter. Again, Coach Schmidt and his staff did a wonderful job. Our nutrition, Brooke Helms and their staff did a wonderful job. Relentless. I mean, they show up an hour and a half before everybody gets here and stay an hour and a half later. And our sports science and the analytics staff keeping track of everything, and the constant ebbs and flows, and trying to help us peak at the right time and protect us when needed as well. But the real credit goes to the players and all of their hard work through the summer. It's easy to see the player-run meetings and player-run practices that they did in the summertime really showed up. Obviously, when we ended the spring, we had several more guys that had either just gotten here. 38 guys, I think, had just gotten here in January, and they got another summer and then fall camp, and so you saw a vast amount of improvement, confidence come from the additional meeting time and reps and walkthroughs and all the strain from practice, and then you had roughly 15 guys that showed up in June that are, again, have an opportunity to have a major role here, moving forward. And so to see that progress, but the player-run practices and the meetings that they did really showed up. So again, that's really who deserves a tremendous amount of credit. And as we begin our season, really excited about where we're at right now, and wherever we're at again today will be next Friday it'll be a starting point for us against Temple. And but you really have seen exponential growth and improvement with guys on the offensive side, where there was, again, a few more guys that either a first time here that we're counting on, or again, you look at a guy like a Jackson Arnold that's just a freshman coming off his freshman year and started one college game, and so, or Mike Hawkins, that he just got here in January. So all the different tight end group, again, that has transformed, a bunch of new guys, really unfamiliar faces, and that's really exciting to see that group evolve and improve, and or maybe it's Sam Franklin or Taylor Tatum, guys that haven't been here long, and see those guys along with, again, Gavin Sawchuk and Javante Barnes, and the things that they've been able to do, or Xavier Robinson and Caleb Hicks. Again, those are guys that enrolled in January, and so to see where they're at today, I thought it was important for me to, acknowledge that, and know that, again, there's still tremendous, growth and improvement. But what I love about this group, they knew every day we showed up to this facility, something's on the line, something's at stake. And we've got a lot of talented guys, as we know. Talent and reputation don't win for you. The work does. But this is a group of guys that were willing to work and put the time in, and they wanted to be challenged. And so it makes it a lot of fun when you get guys with a willingness to do the hard stuff, relentlessly. And so feel great about the depth of our leadership on this team. I've been talking about that, and we got just a tremendous amount of guys that really care. And there's been several guys that didn't get here until this last semester, but they're just natural leaders, and they bring out the best in everybody, and they have a professionalism about them that knows how to show up. But now the next challenge, after kind of navigate the next week or so, will be to doesn't matter what you do in practice if you don't do it in a game, and that'll be the next real litmus test. And but this week we had a really light day yesterday, a vested practice, and today we were in uppers, just a 15-period practice, and we'll amp it up to 17 periods tomorrow, and then Thursday we'll do a mock game and short, brief walkthroughs on Friday morning, and then give them the rest of Friday and Saturday off, and then Sunday for us is like a game week Monday. So we'll get onto that schedule moving forward, and working still on ourselves quite a bit. A lot of good work still, a little bit of individual and team scout work, just things that we need to improve and get better. Thinking end game and long ball in many ways with how we're still structured, and a little bit of opponent prep, but we'll really get into that tomorrow into Temple but at the end of the day, it's not really about. There's a new DNA that you got to learn. That's going to be a challenge of this team. We're going to a new league. All the league members got to learn about two teams. We got to learn about. We got 11 teams. I'm not a soapbox. It's the reality. You don't know the DNA of 11 of those teams. So that's been a challenge. It's been a lot of fun to put in a lot of work to try to get ready, but until you actually play people and understand the league and how you play, you got to kind of go through that. I know I talked about that several weeks ago, but that's what's sitting in front of this team, and love where we're at in the kicking game right now. We still have a battle there with our place kickers. That'll go through the end of this week, and we'll make a decision, and really feel like we would need both guys potentially, this season. And Zach's got a really big leg, so he's really good at the kickoffs, and Elzinga's done a great job as a punter. Ashton has done a really nice job. Had a great fall camp as well. Liam Evans has done some good things there again, and I really like the length and the speed, the athleticism, the explosiveness, and the playmaking of our units that we have, in special teams. We got a nice blend of offense and defensive guys, a hungry group of guys that they recognize this is an opportunity for them to be one of the 74. So we challenge our guys not to be comfortable, thinking about our first, 3 games at home, but thinking about, that 74, because that's how I look at it. Who's going to realistically be able to get on the bus, game 4 and or game 5. And so that's, like I said, that's a really exciting part about, what's in front of us right now, some things that we've been able to get accomplished. We still have, a few guys that are nicked up and have some bumps and bruises, but I don't expect anybody to be out, long term. I feel like everybody has a chance to be available for the first game.
Have you been able to work through the injuries up front and the offensive line to get, the chemistry and all of that you would like?
Yeah, I mean, has it been perfect? No, but I'm sure that if you look back at most camps, that's usually the case. And but I do like where we're at, and there has been a chance to work together in lots of different types of settings. But I feel like we're in a really good position there right now.
Who do you like on returns? Special
yeah, I like Jalil, I like Peyton, I like Billy, I like Brendan Thompson and Sam Franklin, and like Gavin Sawchuk, Javante Barnes. Those are all guys that have worked some of the returns.
On the offensive line, Brent, how have you seen Bill? Bill's done this for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
How have you seen him attack that position group and work those guys through? And how have you put your input on that group?
Well, again, developing people, good people, usually, guys that are accountable. My challenge to the guys, and part of our responsibility as coaches, is we have really talented guys, and some more so than others. But when you have talented guys that their talent, aligns with their accountability, and then their availability, then you have a chance to be a really good player. And so we've got really good guys. We do have guys that started, a lot of games up front. We have a few young guys as well that I've, again, loved their willingness to strain and improve and get better. And Bill understands, the things that, he needs to focus on to help, put a group together, or, again, I'm talking not just 5, I'm talking, 8 to, 11, 12 guys. And so whether that's the development piece, the drill work, the walkthroughs, the film study, all of that stuff matters. And finding, the best combination of guys, and then all the what ifs, when it comes to keeping guys healthy, knowing what that'll look like. And again, developing the toughness and the focus of what we got to accomplish, understanding defense, understanding situations, what, again, we're trying to accomplish in different situations. Again, but I've tried to, in every area, try to give the offensive players, a perspective of what the defense is thinking. And if that's, again, situational, or that's fronts, if that's techniques, if that's pressures, that's coverage, all of those things.
On
Do you
special
have
teams.
Do you have an idea? Do you have an idea of a 5 that you'd like to have, or is that a fluid situation?
Yeah, the best 5. Best 5.
Brent, on special teams, how much has it changed this month in what you've been used to as a coach? Having an analyst that can coach special teams.
Yeah, it's nice.
Coach guys and is going to do it on game day.
Yeah, I think what's changed, that part has changed a lot. So and the depth of your support staff, their ability to coach. And then we've got guys that have either been coaches before that, weren't able to, or they're former players that can really bring a lot to individualize, be more specific, fundamentally technique, get a little bit more on the field, eyes and correction and coaching. And so, but, everybody's got the same rules. So everybody should benefit from that. And I think when you talk about a coordinator, somebody that is, an expertise, and he has a vision for exactly what it wants to look like, when he can be a part of that development, on the field as well as, off the field. I mean, it gives you a chance to really, make some improvement, in the areas that you need to. But that's been a lot of fun. Doug's incredibly passionate, high energy, really smart, great teacher, inspires and motivates as good as any coach as I've been around. The players have tremendous respect for him. And he's just a really effective communicator. So I expect us to improve from where we were.
Brent, did you come out of camp still believing that you have the quality depth that you hope to have on defense?
Yeah, and again, what I think we have more guys. Last year we had more competitive depth. I do think that we have a handful of guys from front end to back end that can play at an even higher level than what we did a year ago. Not necessarily 10 guys, but we have a handful of guys, I think that we're better. And again, several of our backups a year ago were either freshmen or sophomores. So going into their second or their third year is a big deal, from making a next jump, with their ability to play consistently, at a winning level. So, and again, we should be better on defense. Why? Well, you bring back guys. That doesn't make you better, like I said, we have a chance to be really good, in particular at some positions, and we've got a lot of work to do to be a really good defense. We got a lot of work to do to be, a dominant defense. We weren't an elite defense last year. We did some elite things. We had some things that we did really well, but that's not how you define a defense. To me, that's not the end game that you're looking for. And you want to, develop a defense that every single week, the defense is doing everything that they need to do to give us a chance to win. and that means getting the critical stop. That means being prepared for the situational piece of it. It means being physical and not letting people consistently make plays on you in the run game or the pass game. And so we got a lot of work to do, and we'll develop that identity through the course of the season. I love the group of guys that we have. They've been hungry. They've been committed. They've been willing to do the work. Now I think it has a chance to be an intelligent defense, but until you go do it, and again, you earn that through the season. And this might be the one of the toughest, challenges Oklahoma, and Oklahoma defense has seen as a program. I don't know. I don't know what all the other ones are, but the challenge is going to be real for this group of guys. And will they have the willingness to show up every single week, start over, put the work in, and do what it takes, do what the game requires you to do to be prepared to play at a really high level each and every week.
Oh, you had a
What
point
about
where
the defensive line in particular? How do you feel about the depth that you've built there and how that fits into what you're talking about?
I think it has a chance to be better, than what it was. How much? I don't know. We lost. Jonah played pretty decent last year. Isaiah Coe played pretty good last year. Lacey would have been a starter. We have one guy inside that's ever started a college game inside for us at Oklahoma on our roster. And our Mason, was banged up a year ago, and he's one of the contenders to be, the starter on the other side of Ethan. And so do you always want more? Absolutely. But I've been pleased with the progress. I've been pleased with the improvement. I'm looking forward to the challenge of the season and all the schemes that we're going to see that's going to, really, force us to, earn it and decide on, how we want, or what we want everybody to write about us.
Well, sorry.
Yep, you're fine.
Recent years, you've had great quarterback play at Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of those guys, even if they were maybe a first-year starter, they were third year in college, fourth year in college. You're obviously getting ready to debut a first-year starter who's in his second year.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some challenges that inherently come with that?
Well, sure. Again, there's going to be some at times, and anybody. This goes to anybody that has started one game and now they're the starter. So you got one game under your belt. There's going to be some moments where it looks like that. I think we'd be negligent if I didn't say that, or naive if we didn't believe that. And and those lows can't be disastrous. And but everybody else plays a part into that as well. And what we ask people to do is important. That we find out what they can do, which we've been working on for the last several months, and then lean on that. And but again, I bet on people. Jackson's incredibly talented. I love the improvement. Even Mike Hawkins, where he's at right now, he has really flashed, and then he's had some moments. It looks like a guy that just got out of high school too. And Jackson has made improvement in every area since his first college start. Which again, he threw it for 350 yards, and we had over 500 yards of offense, and we have a chance to go up 34-13, and makes a great play, catches it. Our guy catches it underneath and starts running, and they pop the ball out and they run it back, and we have a chance to win 11 games. What's the the narrative? If we're able to overcome some adversity, which we nearly did, which is it almost would have been the unthinkable to win a game and turn the ball over against a top 15 team that had won 6 in a row, that had been beaten 3 ranked teams out of those 6 straight wins, one of the hottest teams in college football, that didn't lose everybody and lose anybody in the portal, and so. I understand the narrative, but I live in reality, and the reality is, again, we didn't win the game, but at the same time, we had a coordinator left, or a starting quarterback left, several starters left, and that affects you to some degree, and you got a couple weeks to get ready. So that's our perspective, and so my excitement comes from what I've seen, not only there in that moment, but even obviously since then, and so again, I'm excited to watch these guys go out and play. Coaches, everybody get off the field and, get in the game week and put together a really good game plan and watch these guys, take it to the field and go execute. And there's going to be several things that go our way and there's going to be several things that don't. And you guys get it right about all of it. And we got to, identify the things we got to get better at. And by the end of the year, we should be a really improved football team. That's the goal. That's the vision. And if we're doing things the right way, if things go our way, and that means keeping guys healthy, all those types of things, and our guys stay hungry and committed and driven, and we got to motivate them and hold them accountable to do that. I love, where, I think Jackson can take this football team.
Which is a bigger deal for you right now? You've been going at this for a while.
I'll help him here, Mike, for a minute.
Are you at the point you want to see these guys in live action, but you feel got some stuff you need to work on?
Yeah, it's both, and it's always that way. I would take one more walkthrough, like last national championship game. I'd love to get one more walkthrough, if you look back at it, I'd love to work that one scheme one more time. You always feel that way. And but at the same time, you can have a lot of confidence and these guys are ready to play. And but are we ready? I mean, we're not the game week yet, so I would say no. But we're getting closer and closer. And again, the season will present all kinds of different challenges along the way, and it's really not about who we play. It's about our standards, our preparation, our mindset, our physicality, our effort, our willingness to stay humble and hungry and driven and committed, and as a football team, regardless of what the scoreboard says, this is a season of improving, from week 1, all the way through week 12.
How's Andrell doing?
He's doing good. Yeah, he looked great today.
Is he going to give her the brace?
I don't know. He won't be required to either wear it or get rid of it. That'll be up to him. And but we're obviously trying to be, careful with him. But he doesn't have any limits, right now.
Communication.
Huh?
It's on back at practice.
Nope, not yet.
How's that helmet communication working?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. No, yeah, it's interesting. I got ways I can hear everybody at once, offense and defense, when you're going against each other. At game day, of course, it's not that way. And but it's been really good. Can there be some advantages? Probably so. But if there's advantages for the offense, the defense will catch up quickly whenever, that is. That'll all work itself out. But it's good to be able to have some last few, words from a communication standpoint. But at the same time, man, you got to let the guys go play too, and don't want to paralyze them, because you had to get one last thing in.